My name is Daniel González. I created the artwork that is on the Metro Expo line La Cienega Jefferson station, Memoria Grabada, engraved in memory, and this is my print shop. I grew up in Bull Heights. I always noticed that there was remnants of many communities there. I looked at the intersection of Jefferson and La Cienega. You know, you had many different communities come through and live there and set up their homes. And so some of the earliest settlements there, the Tongva settlements, you know, there are people that were living on these hillsides and then moving on to how that area was explored by the Spanish and then used by the Californios, and how each different community came through and used this area and how they left a mark. They left an echo of their existence walking through there, and they all had a story to tell. The Tongva communities that used to live around the Ballona Creek, I'm trying not to create an image that would place them, you know, in a diorama setting where like this is how they hunt and this is how they live, but kind of make them look like, hey, you know, these are people living in communities that have, you know, similar problems that we have in our communities. You know, they hang out too. The Portola expedition walked along where the 10 freeway is today. But if you have to look really hard in the details to see that there's Native Americans there too, and they're acting as porters. They're in between the horse's legs. And then you see the one guy at the end who just abandons his pack and he's like, you know what, I'm done carrying your stuff. And he's going to abandon the expedition. I would. And the fourth one is the early movie industry, which developed in Culver City. So I just thought it would be funny to kind of show us this early movie industry creating a vision of the West informed by people coming from the East what these ideas and perceptions of the West look like in a very cliche manner. And I hope people get the joke when they see the station as like as an example of this bigger story, you know. I take tools and then I carve into the linoleum, and that creates a surface that then gets ink placed on it and then pressed into paper. They took my designs, turned them into giant stencils, and then they have people carve into the porcelain after they paint it black. That panel talks about a disaster that happened literally right at the intersection of La Cienega and Jefferson. It wiped out that neighborhood at the base of the hill when the Baldwin Hills Dam broke. Grabado en memoria is like engraved in your memory. You know, I'm literally carving into blocks, engraving memories into like these blocks and then placing them onto the station. And so these memories are kind of like visual echoes of the past that you could walk through. And like, what echo are you leaving behind as you walk through your day to day? We're all part of a bigger story here. So here we are at La Cienega station on the Expo line. We're heading over to 7th and Figueroa to visit one of my favorite places in LA, Caravan Bookstore. It's a special place for me. It's a place I used to visit as a teenager. You know, being an artist isn't just kind of sitting there with your ideas. When it comes to making it, it's like being possessed. So there's the guy you meet at the galleries and then the guy that's at the studio that just, you know, is kind of a mess. My sister kind of put it into context with me. She's like, you know, dude, this is big. You know, my grandkids are going to see this. You know, like, my kids are going to see this and we're going to be so proud of you. For me, it's just like the work. Like, get the work done, make sure the work is, you know, good, and make sure that I'm just a conduit for the bigger idea, the bigger message. I just happen to have the facility of communicating it. I don't glorify that because for me, it's a job. It's work. We're here at Caravan Books, and this is Leonard Bernstein. This is your bookshop. Tell us about your bookstore.
Caravan Bookstore began in 1954. It was started by my father, whose picture is here, and my mother, whose picture is here. And this was Booksellers Row. There were many booksellers up and down the street, little holes in the wall, little shops. And we appreciate fine art and rare books and literature and history. Especially about the Southwest, about early California, early Los Angeles. But I think you came to the store before you started working on the murals.
That's right.
And you were in and out. We've had many conversations back
That's
and
right.
forth.
Yeah. You always seem to have like that other story that's not written in the book, you know, or like that I haven't come across.
So we like Daniel's work. We like Leo Blvd's work. We like anybody else who depicts Los Angeles for what it is, which is an evolving, constantly evolving, dynamic environment.
You know, and I kind of want to inspire a sense of wonder into the past so that you can understand what the present is so you can move on to the future. Especially for a young person of color, young child of color, you have to know that. You have to know that before taking that step, because you're going to hear so many different stories, you know, and so many different histories about yourself and about who you are. I think it's important for you to find out on your own. So I'm hoping that with this piece, it inspires you to look into it and then build your own story, build your own narrative. Don't have someone else tell your story, you know? So that's the kind of impact I'm trying to make with this piece, is just kind of that sense of wonderment and exploration into yourself, into who you are, and the city that you live in.
The train to 7th Street, Metro Center in downtown LA is now arriving. Please step back and allow customers to exit the train before boarding. Bikes should enter through doors marked with yellow decals.
Let's see our train. Come, let's see our train coming. Come. Back shoulders. Clear. The train comes this way.